and welcome back to the House of the Stag podcast, the very first one where you can actually see us, and it's gonna stay that way. Apparently, they're working on both a Aegon's Conquest show and maybe even a movie. What do you guys think about that?
You're gonna hire Henry Cavill?
Oh God.
It's everyone's weird dream, and I just don't get it, man. Man, how do I put this? Because I'm gonna get killed for having an opinion about the man. But it's not that he's a bad actor or anything, but it's just weird. It's just weird, you know? Game of Thrones actors, and even now in House of the Dragon, they're pretty much unknown, and I like that because they grow into their roles and they grow into, you know, this massive thing, and it always suited them best. So I would much rather prefer it being someone we just don't know. So what about Aegon's Conquest in general? About a TV show, about a movie? The movie might be about Doom of all the Valyria, I suppose, because it was said that the movie would kind of set up the series, and we kind of go from there.
I think as a show, you should probably start with like slightly before the Doom of Valyria.
That's what I'm
Have a
saying.
little look on-
Like the
Yeah,
movie is supposedly starting the series, and you know the
Oh,
series
okay.
follows the movie.
And then we have Dany the Dreamer, and then have them move to Dragonstone and set it up before Aegon gets there. Then you'll have more
Yeah.
stuff rather than Aegon comes in, Victory Royale. That'll be like 2 episodes.
That is the thing. That is the thing. Like as much as you could cram in the others, since you just did that on House of the Dragon, where this is all coming from Aegon. He knew about the others arriving. As much as you can cram something in there, get some like follow his dreams, and you get a shot of the White Walkers and stuff. As much as you can do all that, it only ever gets interesting when when the first Dornish War happens. That's much later on. So you're either dealing with time jumps again,
Yeah.
or I don't know. You just do the conquest in the movie and then go from there. And I don't know. Maegor would have been the interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think a Doom of Valyria movie could be cool. I think that budget could only possibly work for a movie. There's no way you can do like a series for that. I mean, it would just absolutely shred money, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it could definitely work as a movie for sure. And if that led into Aegon's Conquest, that would be pretty damn cool. I'm not particularly chuffed on the idea of Aegon's Conquest, but I mean, honestly, I do have trust in these guys, you know, at HBO. They know what they're doing. They're not like morons, you know. They're gonna find people who are passionate and know what they're talking about. I mean, at least I hope so. So if they do really decide to go for this thing, they are gonna commit. That's for sure. They're not gonna half-ass it.
Yeah. A lot of people are worried already. I've seen a lot, because obviously whenever something new drops, whenever something new is presented to us, it automatically is bad, you know. It's just always But you know, I'm not particularly too fond of these characters. I'm not too attached to the history of House Targaryen. So I'm just like, it's not the ideal show. Like, it's not the one that I was hoping for, which is obviously Dunk and Egg, which is just a dream come true as a TV series, because it will work perfectly. But I'll take any Westeros show I can get, and I'll give it a fair chance. If it sucks, I'm gonna definitely say it. I'm not holding back, but we just don't know anything yet, and it's one of those shows where, you know, you can't do too wrong, can you? I mean, the story is laid out. We know what happens. We know what's going on. It's all about the characterization. We shall see.
Yeah, I think there are definitely like a lot of like narrative problems with crafting Aegon's Conquest in like a TV show. Because if you read about it or hear about it, that's one thing, you know. It's like, but like actually seeing it, I think also because like the timeline is kind of weird. I think I brought up a similar point when we were talking about House of the Dragon like a few episodes ago, but like the way Fire and Blood is written is not it's not written to be adapted really. Like there are a lot of weird time jumps. Not weird time jumps. I guess it's realistic, but like if you would do Aegon's Conquest, if you wanted to do the entire Conquest, you would have like another 40-year show. You know, because the actual Conquest doesn't finish until much later on. Sure, they say it's done like 6 years in, but really it doesn't. The story isn't wrapped up until much later on. You know, so it's weird because you have another thing. Either they're gonna dumb it down and say, "Oh, Conquest, boom boom," or it's just gonna be like, "Okay, well, there's more that happened, but we're not gonna show that because one season, that's it." So I don't know. It's a weird one, but let's see, man. I don't know.
Or Baratheon.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, well, sign me up.
Yeah. Is Stephen Delane available?
I mean, there is cool stuff that I can do, and obviously live action Balerion the Black Dread and Visenya would be incredible. Like there is an appeal, and weirdly enough, the masses, even the broader audience, is very familiar with Aegon's Conquest, and that
Baby Maegor, adorable baby Maegor.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, that would have been the interesting one in my opinion, because that would be in a show where you have so much payoff at the end. You know, when he's finally dealt with, when he's gone, like that moment, like you just go from atrocity to atrocity, and then when it finally happens, that would be very rewarding as a final season, and then obviously it follows up with Jaehaerys and all, but it is what it is. I and I tweeted this out. By the way, guys, I have a Twitter, so you are very welcome to follow me on that as well. But I tweeted out that I think The Last of Us and Dunk and Egg might be, at least superficially, too similar for HBO to be willing to entertain a Dunk and Egg show right now. Because we would have two shows where this lonesome guy is trying to find purpose or whatever, and he has this companion who happens to be a child that is actually very important and main centerpiece of the whole plot. And I think that's just a little bit overload, if you do two shows like that. You're spending major money on that, so I think they're very careful, and it might just be too similar. What do you guys think about that?
But I feel like Dunk and Egg can be cheap enough for them. Like it probably only needs like the budget of Succession.
Yeah.
And also people are just into Westeros. People who are into Westeros, they'll watch it. And like they turned Wolverine into The Last of Us. No one complained. Yeah.
I mean, that trope has been done to death, to be honest. I'm not going to even start a name. I got a list of like 30. But yeah. No, I think if they were to do Dunk and Egg, I think they'd be safe for the most part. I don't know if any of you have played... I say any of you, there's two of you. I don't know if you guys have played The Last of Us Part 2, but it's very, very different from the first season. So it's not a similar story whatsoever. So as far as I know, they're doing season 2 this year. So maybe it'll be out by next year. But if they were to do Dunk and Egg, I don't think it would be too similar with the story of season 2 of The Last of Us, at least. I think it'd definitely be similar to the first season for sure. But I don't think they're concerned about that necessarily. I think it might just be that they want to introduce this cinematic universe to everyone before they do something that's sort of more like niche and small, like Dunk and Egg. Because like if you start off with House of the Dragon and it's a success, and everyone knows it, and it's good, and it's great, and everything like that, and you followed it up with Aegon's Conquest, which everyone obviously knows about, and it's good and it's great. The third one could be slightly smaller and more intimate, and they could make that work, But they would really need to do very, very well with the first two, because if they drop the ball with Aegon's Conquest and then try to make you watch a show about this tall dude and this child, it's not going to go well. You know, at least on the economic side of it. You know, I think for us it's going to be great. Obviously, I want Dunk and Egg more than I want anything.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I think they have a plan. I think that they know more than we know. That's definitely a fact.
That's true.
That's definitely true. So I think the whole problem really is that everyone's sort of, they're like, we get like this crumble of news, and everyone, especially Twitter, just like loses their shit.
Yeah.
And everyone just freaks out.
On that note, I have decided to just drop Thrones news as a whole. I'm not gonna talk about rumors. I'm not gonna talk about leaks on this channel anymore, because I don't want to entertain this space. Which is I'm sorry, but I gotta talk about this for a minute. I just don't understand why people are making up shit. Why people are acting the way they are right now. I just don't get why you would claim that actors are striking, or I sent you guys the link in the post that were.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I don't want to entertain that anymore. I'm very much reserved, you know. And if something sucks, I'll say it. If I don't agree with certain decisions, I'll say it. I'm not a fucking shill, but it's just so, it's gotten so toxic, and I will much rather just do Winds of Winter content for the time being and do my best at that, and then we shall see. But yeah, sorry, just had to get that out there.
Wind's gonna come out next year?
I hope so. I hope so, but I'm done making predictions on that one. Yeah, Aegon's Conquest, I think it's doable. Is it the one that I was hoping for? Definitely not, but I'll just wait and see. And that's all we can do at this point anyway, because it's just another one of these shows that are in development. We never heard anything about Snow again. Maybe the next show that actually gets greenlit is some animated show. We shall see.
Yeah, I mean, they released or there was information leaked that there was like 15 billion spin-offs planned about Nymeria and her one child and her goldfish, and Corlys and his goldfish, and like everyone's extended family, and then Dunk and Egg, and then Aegon's Conquest, and Doom of the Valyria, and all that. So, and none of that has like any information on that whatsoever. So, yeah, I think we should just wait for like actual official news, because people do like. If it's from like Deadline or something,
Variety?
They like
that's worth talking about.
Exactly, but if it's just a Reddit post, I think people are because people really do just make stuff up. Like you guys saw that that Reddit post about the actors striking and stuff. It's a fan fiction.
Yeah, it's very badly
season 8 was
too.
Like better written than that, dude. Like it's bad. Like it's atrocious. So
why the fuck? We gotta talk about this real quick. Why the fuck Olivia Cook already talked to the intimacy coordinator? They're not even filming it. What the fuck are you talking about?
Literally, what do you mean?
Why? Who? Why? What the fuck? It's so crazy to me, man. It's but actually, let's talk about House of the Dragon Season 2 only having 8 episodes. That was a huge thing a couple of days ago. So you guys
I think Twitter, as Twitter is, just sort of blew it out of proportion. Everyone just lost their minds. But Ricky, you and I have started to talk about this and then stopped to talk about it because of entertainment value. But it's not a big a deal as people seem to make out. It's not like they're cutting the season shorter. They're just rearranging it. That's really all it is. Because there's no way they could cut it shorter. There's already like little as there is. So it's not like they could. They're already extending it far more than they not should, but they're extending it as much as they can. So having it like stretched out like this is just like, it means to me that, or it shows to me at least, that they're like in it for the long run and not just trying to get it over with in 3 seasons.
Yeah, and supposedly they are ending with Rook's Rest. So that in itself just moving the Battle of the Gullet to season 3 and focusing on what happens before the Rook's Rest for like 6 episodes, and Rook's Rest happens, then Aftermath. That's very slow, and I think that is actually kind of the pace that we were hoping for season 1. So
I heard they could potentially do King's Landing before Gullet.
Where did you get?
I mean,
where did you get that from?
I have no idea.
Source. I made it up.
Sources. I made it up. I feel like it could be that the reason why they moved the Gullet is they want to avoid a certain element being too similar to season 1. The ending of season 1. They want to keep a certain person a little longer if he or she is popular, and some Winterfell business.
Yeah, true. I think also it is a lot of it costs a lot of money.
Imagine. Okay, I'm gonna say the names. Imagine Luke dies, season 1, episode 10. Jace dies, season 2, episode 10. Joffrey dies, season 3, episode 10.
Yeah, I feel like that will be a
episode
problem.
10 every time. That's crazy.
Yeah, like Emma Darcy's like, oh no, I have to do a slightly different crying scene. It's not good.
But again, I mean, Battle of the Gullet is going to cost a lot of money. So obviously, even though they are saying it's not for money reasons, it is. Come on, like Battle of the Gullet, that will be expensive. And doing Rook's Rest and the Battle of the Gullet in one season would be nuts. So I think while this is something that has to do with money, I think pushing it to season 3 is quite intelligent in that regard, because that way you can focus the money on each separate battle. Rook's Rest is gonna look way better, and Gullet is gonna look way better whenever they're doing that.
I think that's something people fail to understand, is that when we have less episodes, that means we're getting better quality. If let's say an episode costs 15 million, it's probably more than that at this point for season 2. But if we're cutting 2 episodes, we get an extra 30 million that's going to be spread across those episodes, right? So the CGI is going to be better, the production quality is going to be better. They're just going to have more time to refine the product, essentially. I think if they the thing is, Battle of the Gullet is big, right? It's not just a few dragons. It's 4 dragons? Was it 5? I think it's 4, right? And
4.
big ones, right? It's Silverwing, Vermithor, Sheepstealer, and Vermax. Right?
Balerion, Vermithrax, Esovius.
I made it up. He's just making stuff.
Esovius.
Balerion. Esovius.
Oh, I lost my mind when I saw that, man.
Oh man, I was laughing so hard. It's so funny. Obviously, like I give them like flack for that. Not flack. I'll give them slack for that because Fire and Blood hadn't been like published by then. So
whatever.
obviously they were just writing down stuff.
But Esovius, bro, it's just so
really
ridiculous at this point,
Funny.
Like
Esovius.
Now that you got a feel for the names of the dragons, Esovius. To circle back for a second, obviously when I first heard about the news that episode, it's only gonna be 8 episodes, it is a weird decision. Like it definitely is. After doing 10 episodes for one season and then going to switching to 8 episodes for the second one, that's kind of unheard of. I've never seen a show that did that. It is kind of weird, but I don't think it's comparable to Game of Thrones at all. And it's not rushing, and it's also not the final episode, not the final season of the show. Game of Thrones season 8 finished the show. Season 2 of House of the Dragon is just gonna actually do or start the Dance of the Dragons. So 2 entirely different things.
The war literally just started.
Yeah,
like it literally just started.
And I loved the early premiere episodes of Game of Thrones when just reconnected with the characters. You had a few character scenes, lots of talking, lots of plotting, and slowly setting up what's at stake in this season. And if we get that, a lot of scenes within the Red Keep between Alicent and Aemond after what just happened, and you know, I like to spend time with these characters before we get into the dragon battles, because that's just not what I'm here for. I don't give a fuck about dragons. So yeah.
Yeah, and also there's a lot of marching, you know. There's a lot of like maneuvering armies and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, and introducing characters.
So
Cregan,
Daeron, for example.
You gotta introduce these characters. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, because Daeron is essentially just on a long march the entire dance. He just fucking walks, poor guy. Or flies, I guess. But so there's gonna be like a lot of scenes where, like, I don't know, they're just kind of moving forward, and it's going to be this build up and build up and build up, and then when the battle does finally come, it's just going to be like it's not like you're reading it on a page, right? Because in Fire and Blood, every second page is like there's a new battle and this happened, but there's no build up to it, you know, because it's like a few hundred words. I think it's a good idea to sort of slow down the pace of the show.
Yeah.
I think it's clever.
That is all I wanted to talk about today, actually. So, yeah, let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for watching. Take care, and see us later.
I just did the Giga Chad face with the intro and the outro.